That is nonsense.
Yeah, and say,
Okay.
can we be friends?
Uh,
If somebody is trying to ask you out, he's not trying to be friends with you, you know.
yeah.
So if you are married, I think basically just abstain from all appearance of evil.
Yeah.
It does. Hello.
Hi guys.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Welcome, welcome,
Welcome.
welcome, welcome. We're so happy to have you here.
Well, my name is Vic.
And my name is Debbie, and we are
Yeah.
Debbie and Vic.
Debbie and Vic. So you're welcome.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about love. What are we talking about
Please
today?
remind us what you're talking about, please.
So that should remind us. Okay, so today we're going to talk about should we have friends of the opposite sex when you are in a relationship or you are married, like you're in a serious relationship or married, should you have a close friend of the opposite sex?
Mm.
So my love, what do you think?
Yeah, so let's start from you. Let's hear your perspective
Okay, my
um
perspective.
on what you feel. Yeah.
Okay, I think that the question is actually very dicey, but that I feel like there are two sides to it. For example, if you have maybe a childhood friend
Mm.
that you've known for a long time, and then while you're in the relationship, the best thing would be to introduce them to your other person, your better half, so that in a way they tend to form a relationship with both of you as a unit instead of just you as a singular person. So if you're hanging out with them, since you're in a relationship now, you're hanging out with them and then your husband, and then you know that kind of thing. And sometimes even your husband and the person might even get to really relate as a close friend, that they get to hang out even without you. So I would say those kind of relationships are healthy, you know. You don't just discard all of your friends when you have them. But the ones that can really be dangerous are the ones that your husband or your wife does not even know anything about, and you are being secretive, you keep them away from them, and then you just do everything like hush around each other. Because so those are the ones that really really you have to look into it because it's problematic.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that's true. Well, another aspect I will also come from will be the aspect where, let's say you've dated somebody before,
Okay.
or you've even had sexual relationships, sexual affairs with someone before,
Okay.
and now you are married, or possibly you are in a new relationship,
Okay.
and and you are still going back to that person, maybe hanging out with that person, having something to do with that person. For me, I would say that's indeed going to be very, very
Yeah.
disastrous.
Yeah.
I've seen so many relationships that have been broken because of ex. So many will tell you that, oh, I have nothing to do with my ex anymore. But a lot of people are not being truthful, and sometimes they have something to do with their ex. So if you are in a relationship, a serious relationship, because everybody use the word relationship these days, but I'm talking about like engaged to someone you are seeing, and you believe that you're going to have a future with. But if it's just
Yeah.
somebody you are just trying to understand, of course, well, you might still want to hang out with your ex or still, because maybe something could still work out with you guys or something. But I mean, you are committed in a relationship with somebody, or you are married, especially for married people, you have to be very, very, very careful. For a relationship that is not, you are not yet even married, if anything happen, with you and your ex, and you decide to come back, you can still come back, mend your lives together, and you move
Yeah.
on. Okay, the other party will only be hurt. But when it involves marriage,
Like it's
it's
a
a
commitment. You
lot.
have
It's
said
a,
your
it's a
vows. Yeah.
commitment. You've made vows to that person.
Yeah.
So going behind that person and doing certain things is not going to be right. And such person, it's not like relationship where the person will say, oh, I can't trust you anymore, so I'm not doing the relationship again. Now you are married, the
Yeah.
person say, I can't trust you anymore. That relationship will be filled with a lot of frustration, because you have broken the trust of the person. So I would say you need to watch opposite sex relationship, especially,
Yeah.
most especially when you are married or committed into a relationship that families are even already aware, and you're about to move
The last level.
into the next
Yeah.
level of possibly sealing it, of getting married. All right. So if you know that you've dated somebody before, I wouldn't want to care to know how well.
You're not even talking about close friends this time around. Like you
Yeah,
want to
well,
concentrate on the heck.
maybe we can look at close friends. Yeah, later I'll still look at that. But for me, the opposite sex friends that do cause a lot of havoc, mostly in marriages,
Especially the ex.
usually starts with the ex.
Yeah.
So I'll come to other aspects, but because someone that you've dated or you slept with or something, no matter what happened, when you meet later and you begin to meet frequently or you start talking,
You
emotions are
might
going to
ignite,
be,
you can ignite
yeah,
those
going to
feelings.
be
Yeah.
awoken. And before you know, you find yourself that you finish something that you don't want to do before you remember that, oh, what am I doing? All right. So I would say that you should avoid such kind of people.
Yeah.
If you've dated somebody, it didn't work out. I'm not saying the person should become an enemy with you or something, but the person shouldn't become your friend. Like, love the person like you
From
love the
afar.
person with the love of God, of course.
Yeah.
But that does not mean that you start building relationship with the person. She has issues in her own marriage. She might even be married. She's coming to talk to. You are creating time for her. You talk till late in the
Yeah.
night, sharing things. After work hours, you begin to hang out. And what are you doing? Say, oh, she's my ex, but yeah, she's a good friend to me, and we are just trying to see how to talk things out.
Yeah, I
You're not
think
helping. Yeah.
what you're basically saying is talking about right now is boundaries.
Yeah,
Set
so
boundaries.
set boundaries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you have somebody, especially of the opposite sex, that you're talking to, you have to let them know their boundaries. Even though you guys are talking, they don't call you at night when you're supposed to be with your husband. Then you don't share intimate things about your relationship with your husband with them. You don't go to them for counsel when your husband did
Support,
something wrong.
financial support, and different
Because
things.
it is when, let's say, you and your husband you're fighting now, and then you're talking to another male friend about what he did, instead of you saying, oh, this man is a good man, or whatever about your husband, you'll be thinking about this ex being a better person. It might not even be an ex, it might just be friend. You just be feeling like, oh, he's listening to me, he cares about me and all of that, and that might not be true. So it kind of clouds your judgment. So to not put yourself in that position, it might be nice to just stick to having female friends. And then, the funny thing, I realized, I used to have lots of male friends before I got married. Yeah, yeah. But now that I'm married, I am more intentional about building female friendship. And the funny thing I realized was that, oh, female friendship is actually cool. Like, you get to talk about different stuff and then share your concerns, pray together, and all of that. So whatever it is you feel, because some girls feel like, oh, male friends are the best friends, they won't gossip and all of that. But whatever I think you feel like you're getting from your male friend right now, you can always get it from a female friend if you are intentional about it. Do you get? So that's what I think about that.
Yeah, and again, yeah, she said there are certain things you cannot share with the opposite sex. So I'm not totally against. We're still going to. I still have friends that are possibly ladies, of course, which most times I try to tell her about it. Maybe if one called on certain things, but all of them in a way have set that level of boundary. They don't just call me at any time, or
Yeah.
get involved in certain intimate things about their life or something like that. There is a level of boundary. That does not mean we are still not friends. But some of them, maybe they have issues, and once in a while they just call, for advice or for something. They know I'm married. Some of them even know my wife and stuff like that. But not like me having one secret friend behind her. She's not aware, and
Yeah.
I'm busy hanging out with them, all right, or creating time, talking to them over and over again, and
Yeah.
before you know, that can lead to something else.
Thing.
Then of course there are certain things you cannot talk to I cannot talk to female friends about that I can talk to my male friends freely.
Yeah.
If I begin to talk to a female friend about it, it begins to give them some kind of signal. No matter how I'm close to her, imagine I come to share some of my
Personal
sexual,
thing.
let's even be real, my sexual life with her, and I'm telling her, oh, my wife is not that good, or my wife doesn't, she doesn't know this style, she doesn't do this and stuff like that. And I begin to tell her that hey, I've not really been enjoying my sexual life since I got married. And I'm telling my female friend that and stuff,
Yeah.
you know,
You automatically break a barrier.
somehow,
Yeah.
no matter how spiritual she is, I might start building that, opening that wall for certain things.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
One thing led to another, it can. So I'm not saying that every female friend that such thing happen with, automatically it will lead to sex. But I mean, as they say, prevention is better than cure.
Yeah.
And it's better to put boundaries in place and not allow such to happen. But I could talk to a male friend more freely about that aspect, and maybe he could share his own frustration, his own experience, or what he and his wife have been able to do that have been able to help them effectively in that aspect. The same way too, even when I tell people when it comes to mentoring also, I believe in mentoring, but there are also certain things that, I might not be able to also share with a female mentor than I can also share with a male mentor. And that's why you've heard the issue of somebody saying somebody is my spiritual father, somebody I look up to, and before you know, the person is sleeping with the person or messing around with the person and stuff like that. So they need to be that balance there. There are things you can share, there are things you can't talk about. Another aspect to this matter also that I would like to look at also is that when you have friends of the opposite sex, let's say this person, I've said X, they are a no for me when it comes to, there's no anyhow you want to do it, for me it's a no. Try to put, it won't help at all. So some of them will come make you see the old good days which you have left behind, which you saw good. That if it was good, you wouldn't have. Do you understand? But you are married now,
you feel
and
like your ex is better than your husband, then if the ex was really really better, you'd be married to that person.
And some people come to make you to make you start feeling like, oh, how you feel, how you enjoy your marriage, how is it going?
None of their business.
Some of them are just coming to make you feel like, but indirectly they are just. I've seen situations where some ex just talk the girl out, make her feel like, oh, the husband is not doing well enough, and at the end of the day they just start using her, doing what they want to do and stuff like that. A life situation, at the end of the day she became pregnant, she was in between, is it for my husband or is it for my ex? And that was how that marriage got destroyed. To tell you the truth, at the end of the day the pregnancy was detected, it belongs to the ex, okay, and the ex said he cannot receive the pregnancy.
He cannot be responsible for
it. He cannot be responsible for it.
So
that is it. Just let go. Just let go. I wanted to come from the aspect of saying that, especially in workplace and others, research has shown that for so many married people, apart from ex, where some other affairs begins from is workplace or their business place where they begin to interact with people
as friends.
For some people doing business, you hear that they fall with their, even pastors hear that they fall with their secretaries or something like that, or PA and stuff like that. You need to put a measure in place. If you have somebody in your workplace that is that close to you, let your partner knows about it. And then
let your family be out of the question. If you're talking about every other thing, oh, how was your day? How to do this? How to do this? How to do this? Hi, your wife, she's fine. Full stop. Not that, can you believe she did not cook for me today? Or can you believe she slept late? Or those kind of things.
Before you know, the person begins to do as if
caring and say, oh, he did not cook for you today. Take this food. Before you know it, your guards will be let down. I always say about this that let it that stands, take it yet lest it fall. That's what the Bible says. So you might feel like, oh, I'm a strong person and I cannot fall. It's good. I'm so happy for you. Like, thank God for your life. But don't tempt yourself with all these having friends of the opposite sex that you say, oh, he's my close friend. Let your husband be your closest friend. And if you need to have other close friends, let them be people of the same gender as you. And then two, if it has to be like someone that is very important in your life, since your partner know that they are important to you, they will want to form a relationship with them, and then be friends with them as a unit, as a family, hang out. Oh, can you have dinner with my family at this time? Can we talk about this? And all. I had a male friend when we got married, and he knows about the person too knows about him, and then he will even be the one asking me that have you heard from this person, you know, that kind of thing. Just so it's mutual. We have like that open book that he can read. He can always go through mine, the conversation I had with them. He already knows what we are talking about. If I call him and say, oh, I spoke with this person today, and then this is what is going on with his life. You know, those kind of things. That is what how having a male friend actually should work, and then it will be better for you and make your relationship better. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think in conclusion, one of the things that or one of the things we want you to take out from this is that boundaries,
Yeah.
boundaries, set boundaries, then define the relationship from onset. Let it be defined. All right. Don't be in a workplace and you're trying to relate with someone. Are you married? We'll talk about it later.
Don't.
There's no need of talking about it later. You are married,
Or you
you
are
are
not.
married. You are not married, you are not married. Okay. If there is nothing suspicious, you should be playing. Hey, I'm married and stuff. My wife, we are great. I have a child. I don't have a child, or something like that. You've put that straight,
Yeah.
trying to tell the person that this is it. I'm married.
And then
Although some people
keep it
see,
in for people, like for
yeah,
someone meeting you for the first time and you know that this person is already flirting with you, you can just chip it in that, oh, but how was your day, or how was the night? Oh, my husband had to wake me up very early, and all. Just they'll be like, oh, you have a husband? Yes, I am married, you know, that kind of thing. And if they're not taking you seriously, you can keep bringing up that's
yeah,
what
and
you meant. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
meant. And if the person seems to as if even after hearing they are married, is
And
still
you're
trying to,
committed. You know,
then
some
you
people feel
just
like you're married and it's just on paper. You
you,
keep bringing it up
you,
so that they will
you,
know
you
that you're committed into the
no,
relationship that
some
you
will
have.
even know you are committed and still pushing. People are like that. They just want to get a taste of you and just move away.
Mm.
So you just have to be
You have
careful.
to be
So the
wise,
thing
you
is just
know.
that cut such kind of relationship, all right?
Yeah.
Just cut it off. If you have somebody as a more of a professional relationship, let it be professional. Don't take family into it. Don't begin to hang out in odd hours. Say after work we are hanging out. Whatever you can't do within the office, forget about it. What
Go
are
to
you
your
hanging out?
house.
Both of you are hanging out somewhere in the night after work hours, or we need to work on certain project, and then you stay with the person somewhere in their house or in a hotel together trying to work on certain project. I mean, for me, that doesn't make sense. You are beginning to allow the devil, have a chance, before you know, thought begins to come, because infidelity or in marriage or even in relationship, it doesn't just happen spontaneously. Most times
Yeah.
it begins with certain level of relationship coming in, certain level of communication, certain level of expression of feelings and others that you didn't tame early. And if you refuse to tame it earlier, before you know, it moves into another level, and it gets to a level where you can really do nothing about it, and it might affect your relationship, affect your marriage, or even destroy it at the end of the day. And some of these people that you think they like you, they don't. Some don't. They are just emotional,
Yeah.
and they
So
just
people that you
you know
think they are your friends, they are not your friends.
and
You know.
babe, one thing I've also noticed is that when you meet some of these people outside that just want to do something and come in, is that anything you say, you're always right, or possibly anything you do, they always have a way of hyping you. But
Yeah.
your partner might not hype you all the
So
time. Your
you
partner
feel.
wants to tell you the truth. Your partner wants to tell you when you are wrong. Your partner wants to tell you, babe, I don't like what you are wearing, I don't like how you are speaking, or babe, you are not putting so much energy or so much interest into this your career enough. They want to tell you the truth, but the admirer outside won't. It
And
will
they'll
make you
come with
feel as if,
their best colors.
yeah,
You know, when you've met your husband, you've known all of their good side, their bad side. You're used to that. But this new friend, quote and unquote, that you have, will be pushing his best leg forward. You've not seen him snore. You've not seen him sweat. He just comes all prim and proper, and you feel like, oh, he swept you off your feet, and then you're carrying all your problems or whatever it is you don't like about your husband and dumping it at their feet, and they are giving you advice and telling you all those sweet words.
but what
Okay.
we are saying is that be careful. She doesn't need to do that. I don't need to do that, because when we do that, we are opening that chance that might lead to certain things that shouldn't we shouldn't go into. So I think we just want to stop here to say you can have friend of opposite sex. We
Yeah,
are not
you
saying
can.
that you shouldn't, but we are saying let it not be your ex or be somebody that have certain entanglement in, or somebody you know that has interest in you.
Yeah.
Somebody you know that has interest in you, and you're trying to, I don't want him, I don't want him, but you are
Oh
still
yeah,
you are
keeping him
still
around.
keeping him around, and you
So
say you don't want him. It shows that you want him. Keeping him around means that you want him. All right.
yeah.
So, and then be very frank with people. You don't need to, you are married, you are married. You don't need to hide it and say, I will think about it, or okay, I'll get back to you on that. That's nonsense.
Yeah, and say,
Okay.
can we be friends?
Uh,
If somebody is trying to ask you out, he's not trying to be friends with you, you know.
yeah.
So if you are married, I think basically just abstain from all appearance of evil.
Yeah.
It does not have to be evil. It does not have to be outright evil, yeah. But you know it. You know in your heart when this friendship is becoming evil. Yes. So if I say we can just say, oh, don't keep opposite sex friends with the opposite sex and say, oh, that is it. But then you know in your heart when the friendship that you have with somebody that is of the opposite sex is becoming evil. So you have to put it at the back of your mind to always abstain. That is intentionality on your
Yeah.
part.
So
Like, yeah.
set boundaries. Yeah, and bring it home. If it's that important, you say, let's hang. Oh, you want to hang out? No problem.
I'll just talk to my
I'll
husband.
just talk to my husband and talk
Can
to my
hang out
wife. We can
together.
hang out together.
They will
Can
run away.
can you come to our house? You know, we have this fellowship that we want to do together.
Yeah.
You know, can you come join us or something? You want to be my friend? Oh, you know, I'm married. It should be good. Also, you're a
And
friend to
that's
my
all of
husband, a
us.
friend to my wife. We have these prayers we want to do together. Can you come and be one? Then you will know their intention. If indeed they want to be
They'll
friends,
stop calling
or they
you
are
or
just
stop
looking for
talking to
something.
you.
All right. So please do that. Your marriage is important. You are the one that is going to make it work. You know, and at the end of the day, you have that ability and that right to determine what comes out of it. You know, you have to sow positive seed. You have to do everything as much as possible to guide it with all diligence as much as possible to ensure that the enemy does not get hold of it. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, and let's hear from you. Let's have your comment
Let's know
on
your
what you
thoughts,
think,
and
or some of the things you and your husband, you and your partner have been doing to see that you keep it together and avoid having external influences from the opposite sex, and how you've been able to manage female friends or male friends, you know, and yet ensure that boundaries are set right and it has not caused any conflict or lead to any destruction of your relationship. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
And then we have a Telegram group that we connect with people of like-minded, people in a relationship, people that are single and all of that. And then on that group we answer questions that you might have about your relationship. So just check the description box. We have a link to join our Telegram channel. Thank you.
Lastly, and if you are watching this video at the time where we're just uploading it, this week, this Saturday, we will be having an event where we'll be discussing about the concept of the will of God.
Yeah.
If it's real, or do you still believe in it or not? You will love you to just join us by getting to the Telegram group. We'll be hosting the meeting on Telegram, and we'd like you to be part of that conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.